Hi, this is Darren Drew from D. Drew Guitars. Excuse me. Today I'm going to show you how to do some minor touch-up stuff. This is a piece that I'm working on now, but it's a hand-rubbed three-tone finish. It's got brown, yellow, and orange in it. But if you can notice, like right along here, some maybe right there, where the finish isn't coming right up to the white binding line. So, and this is going to be a Greg Rich Recording King Custom Shop USA $10,000 banjo with gold plated hardware that's going to be engraved, hand engraved by Greg. So what I'll first do is, and so I want it to be really, really nice. It has to be, so I'll put some masking tape along here. Even if I let a little bit of the white binding show, that's okay because I'll be scraping it off later. I can scrape it off later, so I'm not really too worried about that too much. Push it down really nice and tight. And then what I have is some of the original brown finish that I hand rubbed on here. And I always mix it with a little rubbing alcohol. Makes it thinner, makes it easier to work with. It doesn't go on really, really as dark, but I put a little extra rubbing alcohol in there for this touch-up. Okay, I dip my brush in, I tap it to get some of the fluid off, and I'll just run a nice line along here. And of course, there's too much on there, so what I just do, I will take my finger and try to dab off this excess. So it will help it to blend in, not take forever to dry. Still some more right over here. And I've been spraying lacquer. This has lacquer on it already. So I can spray lacquer right over the top of this. That's not a problem. But I'll do this until I think it's about right. It's not the perfect, doesn't match it perfectly, but that's okay. You won't be able to see it though. It's the main thing when I'm done. Okay, see, that looks pretty good. I'll let this dry just a touch while I show you something else, or show you another part that I did some touch up on this resonator, and which you really can't even tell anymore. Okay, like right here, I don't know if you can see it, but there was two like places where it didn't go through the veneer, but you can see some of the glue showing through it. But I touched that up. A few other places all the way around this, but you can't even really tell that I touched it up with this method. And then I have it sanded down, and I've been using this. This is really good sandpaper from, I don't know. I don't use this company because these things always flip out of my hand, but it's like a 220 grit, but I have it stuck on this nice pad. It's really hard and firm, but it still has a little flex to it. And so then all I'll do is just barely go over this just a touch, and it will take off the discoloration that it creates actually. And then I'll just take my half a scissor blade, actually works really well just to scrape this off, where it did get some brown on there. And then once I do that, I can respray it again. I've been spraying it a little different method on this project. I'll spray on a coat of lacquer, let it dry, and then try to make sure that there's no dust on the binding or dirt or hairs or whatever. And then I'll take this pad and do it again, just slightly, touch it again, to make it, dull like this one here is. And then I'll respray it again, because this is going to be a $10,000 banjo, and it has to be flawless. And you can see right there it didn't stick very well, so I'll just put some more tape on there and do it again. But this will give you a gist of what you can, or how you can touch up a finish that has to be a very good finish everywhere. With a project like this, you just got to take your time and do it right. It's going to be a very nice banjo when it's done. There's a headstock right there, which I've had to drop fill. I don't know if you can see it with the shiny spots. It's all flat except for there's some shiny spots here, there, where I've had to drop fill some lacquer in to fill up holes that were in there from just a, they're never perfect, the inlays are. So I want them just to be perfectly smooth, so I'll drop fill some lacquer in there, and then I'll spray it with the lacquer on there before I even sand it, and then see how it is after I do sand it again. Of course, you want to tape off your fretboard before you go to spray something like this, but time-consuming project to get it nice and flawless, you could say, but it's coming out really nice. But this is a three-tone, sunburst finish that's hand-rubbed, yellow, orange, and then brown, and it's coming out very nicely, actually, but the hand rub job, the three colors, I think came out really, really nice, and it's just brown on the side. But this will give you some, clue of how you can touch up your own finish when you're doing a finish job, like this. Just take your time, be careful. These things used to scare me, doing a hand rub on this, because you can really ruin it. But if you mix it with the rubbing alcohol, it doesn't stain in the wood as bad. You can take it off with one color to the other, just blending them in together. It turns out to be a fun project, doing this. But I've done about, 6 or 8 of them, and so it's not as scary to me anymore. But there's a tip for touching up a little finish work, and have fun with your projects. This is Darren saying thank you. Please like, please subscribe.